Okay, so we're going to be installing Java on our systems so that we can do the exercises later on, and also you can run the examples at the same time that I run them. So there's going to be three things that we need to put onto our machines in order to get this class to work. One is we need to have the student files. These are files that we're going to provide for you that support this course. They include the solutions to the exercises as well as any examples we'd run inside of or throughout the course. We also need to install the Java Development Kit. This is a download that you can get from the Oracle website. We'll talk about the URL in just a little bit. And in addition to doing the installation on there, we'll have to configure a little bit of environment variable stuff so that we can be able to run our Java programs from the command line. However, most of the work we do is going to be through the Eclipse development environment, so we're going to install that as well, and that'll be a quick unzip of a file that we can get from the Eclipse website. So let's start with the student files. You are going to have a document available to you when you purchase this course that indicates where to find the zip file. It's going to be something like intro to java.zip, and what we want you to do is take that zip file and unzip it to your C drive, to your C directory. If you want to put it somewhere else, that's okay too. Some people like to organize their systems in their own way. That's fine. I'm going to put it on the C drive because it's going to be the easiest way for me to just change directories to get into it. So anywhere is actually fine. C drive is just a little easier for me to do the demos on. And so I'm going to take this file, and in Windows, we can do an extract option. We can say unzip this thing. And the way I just did it isn't the way to do so. Let me try that again here. I want to just right click, and there's my extract option. I had double clicked on it instead of doing the right click. And that brings up a dialog that says, all right, where do you want to put it? And I'll have it go ahead and extract it to the C drive, and it'll automatically create for me the Intro to Java folder, which we can see right there. In that directory now we have several subfolders, subdirectories, one for each chapter pretty much of this course. For example, if we look under Chapter 5, there's an examples subfolder that has the Java files for all the examples that we'll be running in the chapter, and there's also solutions that are the answers to any of the exercises. We obviously would want you to try creating a solution of your own first, but if you get stuck and you want to see what we did, I guess that's why these are available here. So step one, we wanted you to take that zip file that we'll make available to you when you purchase the course and extract it. In my case, I did it to the C directory. On Windows, in this case Windows 7, I simply right-clicked, chose Extract All, and I pointed it at the C drive to do the extraction. Second, we need to go and get ourselves a Java Development Kit. The Java Development Kit you can download from the website that's listed here, or I'll show you that we can simply do a quick Google search. If you search on Java download, or maybe what I had there is even better, download Java SE, Java Standard Edition. That'll get us more towards the programming side of things. And as you can see, the first link that comes up, Java SE downloads, it's from oracle.com/technetwork/java/Java SE/downloads. So it's kind of deep in there, but that easy Google search should get you there. So on the Oracle website, we're going to be downloading the most recent Java JDK. And so at the time of this recording, Java SE7 Update 17 is the most recent release, and I want to download the Java Development Kit here. So I'm going to click on that download button. That takes me to a subscreen, which I must accept a license agreement, and then I choose the appropriate download for the operating system I'm on. I'm on a Windows OS, and I'm on a 64-bit Windows OS, so I'll go ahead and choose to download this 64-bit version of Java. And it's a good size file, 90 plus megabytes, and so we're going to have that downloading here, and I'm going to actually pause the video and I'll pick it back up when this download completes. Well, the download is completed here. We've got the JDK that's been brought down. In my case, it was over 90 megabytes. I'm going to go ahead and open the containing folder. It went into my downloads directory. And I'll just double click on that executable file. I'm going to just make my way through the installation. And so there's a welcome screen. I'll simply click next on. It's going to ask me where to install it. The default location is fine under Program Files Java. And I'm fine with the default items that are going to be in the installation. And I simply click on next. And it's going to take just a bit of time for it to do the installation. So as usual, we'll go ahead and pause this video and I'll be right back with you. As part of the installation, it pops up a dialog asking me where to install what's called the JRE, or the Java Runtime Environment. Again, I'm simply going to click next and let it do its thing. Alright, Java has successfully installed on my system. I'll click the close button, and I believe it's it'll open up a web page asking me to do a registration. I can choose not to at this point, that's okay. But I wanted to just point out that if I were to look on my C drive under Program Files, there's now a Java directory, and my Java installation ended up down in here. So that's one of the steps I needed to make my way through. I needed to install Java, but I also, in order to get Chapter 2 to work properly, I'm going to set up a couple environment variables. One of them is going to be called Java Home, and I'm going to point it at the location in which Java was installed. And so in our example, it was way down under Program Files Java JDK 170_17. So I'm going to right-click and copy that location. And I'll load up, I believe it's under the control panel here on Windows 7. I'll be setting my environment variables. Under System and Security, let me see if I can find where this is at. It's actually probably under Administrative Tools. Nope. I usually do a little shortcut Windows key and pause to bring this up. So, oh, there it is, System. System and Security, then System. And Advanced System Settings. And that pops up a dialog that we have here. Again, if you were to use the Windows key on your keyboard and hit pause, that gets it here as well. Anyway, so environment variables. Under the Advanced tab, Environment Variables. And under System Variables, I'm going to do a new variable called Java Home, Java _ Home, all caps. And I'm pasting into there the location of where Java was installed. Well, in addition to setting that up, I'm also going to set up the path variable. And that's going to be pointing at the bin, the bin directory beneath Java Home. And so on Windows, you can put a little % on either side of Java Home, and it takes whatever's stored in there and it uses that. And to be safe, we're going to put this in as the first entry for our existing path variable. So I'm going to find the variable called path. There it is. And I don't want to delete it. I don't want to take things out that are already there. I simply want to edit that variable and make my way to the very front of it, leaving everything that's already there since I don't want to mess something up that's already set up. And at the very front, I'm going to paste in %Java _ Home % \bin, and there's a semicolon. It might be hard to see, but there's a semicolon separating each entry. So these two things, setting the Java Home and the path variable, this is especially important for us to run Chapter 2. Once we're done with that, we're going to move over and use Eclipse, and we're going to have less usage for Java in this more traditional way of doing things, where we're going to use more of a command line approach. But I personally like to have that command line available in case something in Eclipse doesn't quite work the way I was expecting to. I like to fall back on the old-fashioned way of doing things. And so I like setting this up this way. I suppose it's optional if you wanted to just watch along in Chapter 2, and then once you get into the Eclipse stuff, just move forward through there. Okay, so I've got the path variable set. I've got Java Home set. I'm going to click OK a couple times. And the way I know this works, I'm going to bring up the run box in Windows. So if I hit the Windows R, so Windows key on your keyboard between the Control and Alt and the R letter, R as in Roger, that brings up the run box, and I can type in the letter CMD for command, and that opens up a command prompt. And that's something that we can, well, I guess I don't need to change directories. I just want to check to see if everything was configured right. If I type java-version, notice there's a space between the word Java and the dash, but no space between the dash and the version. That'll give me back that I'm running version 170_17. And yours might be different depending upon which one you installed. I'll also do this with Java-C, the Java compiler, Java-C-version. Again, it gives me a good result. If it gave me, I'm just going to mistype this just so that you can see an error. If it gives you something like it's not recognized, that means that there was a problem with that path setting, with that environment variable. So if your path was configured right, you should get a version number coming back versus something that says it's not recognized. All right, the other thing we need to install is Eclipse. And Eclipse is very easy to install. We simply, again, I'll just go out to Google here and I'll Google Eclipse download. And it's at eclipse.org/downloads. Actually a pretty easy location to find. And the one we're going to install is the Eclipse IDE for Java developers. The Java EE would work as well, but it's got more stuff in it than we actually need. And so we'll go with the Java developers. It's slightly smaller. Again, you choose the operating system, you choose the installation type that you're looking for. In my case, it's Windows 64-bit. And I'll go ahead and hit this big green arrow in the middle of the screen to start the download. And I'll choose save, and it's going to take a bit to do that download, so I'll pause the window while that download continues. So Eclipse is downloaded, another rather large download, 151 megabytes for that guy. And again, it's a zip file, and so I can simply right-click and do an extract, or extract all option here. And just like before, I'm going to extract this to my C drive. Just do C:\\\, and this will take all the contents of that file and create an Eclipse directory on my C drive, and inside of there is going to be the file that we run in order to start Eclipse up. Large files, it's going to take a bit to unzip as well. While it does that, let me just mention a few things about Eclipse. If I kind of go back to the site we were at here, there are lots of different versions of Eclipse. It comes out with a new version every June. The current version is called Juno, and it's the number is version 4.2. You can use anything newer than Juno. Even a few previous releases should be fine for this course as well. I'll be using Juno version 4.2 for this set of videos, but since they update it quite often, it wouldn't be surprising if you had a different release here listed for you. The other thing to do, well, actually, let me pause the video and let this finish extracting, and then we'll show you what it ended up as. Okay, and we're back, and Eclipse is almost done unzipping itself here. So as this completes, I'll go ahead and take a look on my C drive, and now in addition to that intro to Java that I'd unzipped earlier, we now have an Eclipse directory as well. And the quick way to test to see if that's working is just to step into that Eclipse directory and run the eclipse.exe file that's there. And what you should end up seeing is, at least eventually, it'll launch and have some sort of a dialog that asks you to select a workspace. And so if you see something along the lines of select a workspace, that means, well, it's doing fine. And so the installation was fine, everything's working. You can go ahead and hit cancel, since there'll be a later video that shows you how to use Eclipse. So as a review here, let's see what we've done so far. We took the student files and we unzipped them. I went ahead and extracted them to my C drive. That's how I ended up with the Intro to Java directory. We also went out to the Oracle website and we downloaded the Java Standard Edition Software Development Kit. And that came down as a big file that we executed. We ran the installation, and the result was that under Program Files, we have a Java directory with a JDK installation, as well as what we'll call a JRE a little later on too. I took those settings and I went over and I set up an environment variable. I set the Java home variable as a brand new variable and pointed it at the JDK directory. your system might, or your value might be different depending upon what you download and when you download it. And then I also modified the path, the existing variable, prepending %java home %\bin semicolon in front of it. Other than that, the last thing we did is we went out to the Eclipse website and we did a download. After we pulled it down, we unzipped it to the C drive, and that's how we ended up with an Eclipse directory on our C drive that had that embedded Eclipse exe. So that's it. You've got everything installed, ready to go for you to do your work going forward with this class. So I'll go ahead and shut down the video for now.